Let's go to One Nation leader and founder Pauline Hanson joining us from Queensland. Pauline, first up, it seems clear Anthony Albanese is going to recognise Palestine. Do you think he has any mandate from the public to do this? He seems to think that a few people marching on the bridge, or 90,000 people marching on the bridge, is the popular view in Australia.
I agree with you, Chris. He's always had that leaning towards, Palestine, and he's been a bleeding bloody heart for years without really looking at the true facts behind it. And to actually give them the one state or declare them as a state, I think it's ridiculous. Where's Israel? Why aren't they being asked how do they feel about this? And to say that the kids are starving, people are starving, when actually Israel have Netanyahu has actually said they've sent in 2 million tonnes of food already. This is supposed to be their enemy. These are supposed to be the people that want to see the death of them, and it's genocide where they're overlooking and making sure that food gets in there. And they denied the Israelis to actually act as protection to make sure the food got there. But the Hamas are actually taking the food, selling it on the black market. They're going to use their own people as pawns in all this for their own, gain, what they want. Yeah, they are a terrorist organisation. You cannot give them the authority of having a state. And my understanding, Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, they've applied for it 4 times already to be a state. They have commented they don't want it unless they can actually move into Israel. They want to take it over, destroy Israel. It is not going to work. This is where Albanese is so pathetic in going along with Macron and the Canadians and the UK president, all the rest of it, a bunch of bleeding hearts that are not looking at the true facts and how to actually deal with this situation and disregarding Israel. We have no place in saying this. Where is Israel? And where are they saying this?
Yeah, it's a shocking turn of events, and of course every time a two-state solution has been proffered to the Palestinian Authority, they've rejected it. So here we go again. I don't know whether you got to see my little exchange with GPT on our renewable energy transition, but it just confirmed the facts that you and I and most Australians know, that is the renewable transition is undermining reliability, pushing prices up, and will not benefit the global climate one iota.
Chris, I've been talking about this for years, and actually the research that I've had and listening to Malcolm Roberts, who has the credentials to actually talk with authority on this, he's been studying it for years, even before he got into Parliament. It's been an absolute scam. Why the hell are we giving carbon credits for land that we're already under trees and there? Why are we offsetting our carbon emissions when we already have the resources there, but we're actually paying people to offset again? It's ridiculous. I'm actually doing research into this as well at the moment and to put forward a policy. What I've found out today is in 23-24, 1,400 manufacturing companies became insolvent. That's apart from the 30,000 small businesses that also went under. So this is destroying industries, and I've said this all along. It's nothing but a scam. The true facts and figures need to come out, but people need to wake up out there and listen to what's being told. And tell me, where have the oceans risen to actually flood the coastline? Why do we have those people who are still buying properties on the ocean fronts? Tell me that, if they think that the world's coming to an end. Yeah. And Flannery, don't get me started on him.
Don't get me started on Flannery. Yeah, well, I'll keep showing those grabs of him saying it'll never rain again. We never should tire of showing it. Yes. Just very quickly, one other topic I've got to get your thoughts on. The announcement this week that the government's going to increase the overseas student intake by 25,000 people. This is the same government that earlier this year, before the election, said it was going to reduce immigration.
It won't work. They won't do it because they're going to increase the numbers. Apart from the students coming in, Chris, you've got all their families and they can bring them out as well. So that's extra to the country. These foreign students export around about, in the 23-24 figures, about 10 billion plus. I've read even 13 billion plus the money that they make here, they send back to their own countries. That's money we're losing here as well. They take up about 40% of the accommodation in the cities in Sydney and Melbourne. So they are not an asset to us. And a lot of them, the foreign students, get ABNs. They're actually working jobs that they don't clear the tax they make, and they're actually out here scamming the system to make money to send back home, using it as they're here for educational purposes.
I'm certain we'll come back to this population debate. Thanks for joining us, Pauline. I appreciate it.
Ridiculous. That wasn't just a word, it was a direct hit at the entire narrative. Pauline Hanson went straight at Anthony Albanese over the Palestine recognition move, and raised one core question: where is the public mandate? How does a protest, even 90,000 people, suddenly become the voice of an entire nation? This is where the debate took a sharp turn. Hanson flipped the frame. If you're recognizing one side as a state, where does the other side stand? That single point shifted everything. From there, the argument escalated into a bigger issue, not just policy, but trust, control, and narrative. Claims about humanitarian crisis were challenged with counterclaims about aid already being delivered, raising a key contradiction. If massive aid is going in, why is the crisis still the headline story? And here's where the strategy became clear: this wasn't just about Palestine anymore. Hanson widened the attack to question the government's overall credibility. Renewable energy policies labeled a scam. Manufacturing and small businesses struggling. Immigration promises not matching reality. One decision turned into a full system critique. But the most striking part, the central question never got a clear answer: does the government actually have a mandate for this move? And when that question stays unanswered, doubt fills the gap. Now the real question is yours. Should a government make a major international decision like this based on political pressure and protests? Or does it need a clear public mandate? Drop your take in the comments, and that's exactly where the real debate begins, because once you open that door, it's no longer just about foreign policy. It's about how decisions are being made at the highest level. If public mandate can be replaced by pressure, protests, or political alignment, then what stops any future government from doing the same on even bigger issues? Today it's recognition, tomorrow it could be defense, economy, or national security. What made this exchange powerful wasn't just the criticism, it was the pattern being pointed out. A leadership style that, according to critics, reacts more to global trends and alliances than to domestic consensus. And when people start seeing that pattern, trust begins to erode. At the same time, supporters would argue the opposite, that leadership sometimes requires taking a stand before public opinion fully settles, especially on global humanitarian issues. And that's where this becomes a true divide. Is this bold leadership, or a disconnect from the public? Because in the end, this isn't just about Palestine or Israel, it's about who really drives national decisions: the people, the pressure, or the politics behind the scenes. And once that question is out there, it doesn't go away.